You know, I'd really like to know what planet this film series takes place on, because it kind of seems like a chronologically out of order and misplaced version of Earth. Okay, honestly, first off, you have humans at the time of the Ice Age, then it melts down, then the dinosaurs come after the humans, and now it's just kind of melting down more. Seriously, this thing has more historical inaccuracies than the Bible. So as far as the Ice Age series goes, I think the first one's really good, back when there weren't just CGI family movies every other week. I really like it. The second one, I'm not really a fan of. It's okay. Third one, I liked a lot better than I expected to, and now it just feels like they're dragging this series out, which is obvious. I mean, they even kind of were dragging the series out at the third one. It just had this charm about it that made it okay, that it was just pretty ridiculous, and it wound up doing very well, and I personally like that one. This one, it's basically the jokes from the last one combined with basically the story from the second one, or pretty damn close. I mean, the voice cast is still good, and they are still very quick and funny, but it just loses a lot of its charm. The jokes are very rehashed. And it just gets boring. It just gets boring to watch. I mean, it still is entertaining for kids and whatnot, and there still are some really good jokes in there. But every time there's like a hint of a good thing, it just kind of reverts back to this very formulaic way of going about the movie. And the cast does make this movie. When I say the cast, I basically mean Diego and Sid, because John Leguizamo and Denis Leary are probably the best thing about the entire series. I like Ray Romano, the character, it's okay. The Queen Latifah thing, just never really cared for. I felt like it was just a pushed addition, and she's just not very funny in the movie in general. There's always like these fantastic little supporting characters that I really love. Nick Frost, Josh Gad, Aziz Ansari, Joy Behar, Sean William Scott, Patrick Stewart, Wanda Sykes, and Simon Pegg, and there's more. There is more. There is such a fantastic cast here. I mean, are they always given a lot to work with? Maybe not, but still they really pull it off. But then there's these like pandering roles that I just are sickening, like Drake and Nicki Minaj, who should just not be in movies. It's not like it's Rihanna, where it seemed like she was trying to like act and be like, I'm an actress too. And listen, I am fine with actors or actresses who want to act if they actually can, but I don't think they should just be allowed to act because they're famous and they have no skill in it. I mean, if it turns out, okay, that's fine, but the whole Shaquille O'Neal thing really should have been a warning sign for some regulation here, because it is not working out. And it doesn't help the fact that I really just don't like either of those musicians. And there's other roles like that in there, but just not as bad as that. I feel like that's just selling points for the movie now, because they really don't have much else to pitch it on, because it does seem like there's really wasn't a lot to market for this movie, that it was basically just a cash grab. It's kind of like the fourth Shrek, where it turned out to actually be better than the third one. That's not the case here, but still, you could tell that that movie had basically nowhere to go. And that's the thing here, is there's really just kind of this aimless sense throughout the movie that it just feels like a tack on, because it doesn't have a strong story, and they squeeze as much originality out of it as they can, and charm, and that's enough leftovers to make it a bearable experience, and it's not a total loss. But I do not really give it a strong recommendation, but I will say, if you're a parent or young child excited to go see it, then you'll probably have a good time, or at least you just won't suffer through it, because there are a lot of movies like this where that happens. You know, I'm going to give this movie a 5.5 out of 10. It's alright, some enjoyable parts, but overall, you definitely feel the series dragged out at this point. I saw Moonrise Kingdom finally, so I'm trying to think about it more so I can get my review up for that, and something else that's coming out this week, I don't even know. So, stay tuned on the channels, guys. The channel is just one. You know, actually, that might make, like, a good spin at this point, because I don't think they really care for being, Well, just making sense in general. So, I mean, I think it's fine. I think Scratch should be looking for that Eggcorn, right? And he just goes over, and then, oh, look, it's on top of the cross that Jesus is being crucified on, and he's got to go get it. Or just have, like, the Civil War as the backdrop for one of the movies, because everything kind of seems out of order.